Happy New Year, everyone. It is 2022. This is the Label Free Podcast year-end wrap-up, lineup, review. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We have someone very special to my heart, someone that probably a lot of you that watch and have been on the show know very well. This is my executive producer, booking manager, Julie Greene-Bryant. Julie, yeah, mama. Woohoo!
Hey, Mamacita. Happy New Year, everyone. This is Julie Greene-Bryant. I'm the executive producer, and I also do the booking for the show. So you've seen me on here before, but we're coming back at the end of the year and the beginning of this year, 2022, to go ahead and give you guys some updates.
Yes. Did I say 2020 or no? What did I say?
You know what? I have no idea.
Well, you know, it really doesn't matter. So we're just going to roll with it. So you guys, this has been a great year for us. We had 200 episodes. We've really hit it hard in the month of December because that was our goal. We've got a lot of content. We've talked to a lot of people over the last year, especially during COVID when a lot of people were furloughed. I was furloughed. I was out of work. So I just really put my heart and soul into the podcast and talking to dynamic people from all over the world. We reached 434 five-star reviews. We hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are trending at 44 in society and culture in Singapore. And at the end of the year, we've joined a very large network called the Heroes Media Group. And so all of our guests now moving forward are considered heroes. Julie, since you do some of the booking, why don't you give some of your input on the last year and some of the people you've talked to, and then just kind of roll into the whole Heroes Media Group and what we tell our new guests.
Well, it's been a pleasure to speak with all the guests that we've had on the podcast. We've run into some very interesting people.
And you say that in the best possible way. I love it.
We've run into some very interesting people. And so with that said, and when I think about the people that I've talked to, you know, I mean, they come on the phone and all of these calls are, you know, based on their audio calls. You know, very rarely have I had to do a video call. Mm-hmm. And more than likely when I had to do that, that person was out of the country. However, when I think about all the people that I've talked to, I think the most interesting part is when I ask them certain questions about, you know, maybe they did something naughty that no one knows about. I mean, I love that question because it gets them to be more honest about things. It's not all about what they do, who they are, where they live, how well they live. You know, it allows you to see that, you know, I mean, these are people that do some crazy things. Yeah. I mean, I've been told by people that they've robbed banks. I have been told by people that, you know, they like to fart a lot. I mean, I'm serious.
What kind of highlight is that to share? Oh my gosh, that is okay. All right.
I'm just telling you. I have had people tell me that they heard a voice telling them that their wife lived at a certain, you know, their wife to be lived at a certain address. And when they went in, they knocked on the door, they wouldn't take no for an answer, but it was an elderly couple that lived there instead. I mean, you know, people share some very, very interesting things with me, and I can tell you what they've shared because you will never know who I'm talking about.
Right.
You know, we've talked to hundreds and hundreds of people, and you'll never know who I'm talking about. But it allows them to be human for a moment, you know, without judgment.
Yeah.
And I think that we have excelled in that, in the sense that we make people feel comfortable because our mission is to go ahead and remove the labels that people had, you know, on themselves for years, and maybe not know, okay, how do I get out of this cage that I'm in, you know? And so by having these different guests, from coaches to people who've just had life experiences. It's just phenomenal. So after 3 years of offering our podcast for free, we said, hey, we have to do something better for our guests. Yeah. And in doing that, we found the Heroes Network. And when we found the Heroes Network, I think that just lit a fire under us, because we love the fact that we're trying to go ahead and remove labels, and our guests can be heroes at the same time. I mean, who doesn't want to be a hero?
Right. And in a world where things are so dark and murky and just very confusing right now, to talk to so many dynamic individuals that are really changing the landscape of their own lives and the people's lives around them, they are essentially a hero in my eyes. And so sure. I felt like us doing what we do and all the positive feedback that we get on a daily basis, I feel like our guests really fit that mold, that they are a hero in their own sense. And so, you know, I really loved that when we joined the Heroes Media Group, that's what, you know, I view my guests as.
Yes. I mean, they were heroes before we joined the Hero Media Group.
That's right.
It's just kind of ironic that that's the particular media group that we joined, you know, because I've said in the past, oh my gosh, you're my hero, to some of the people that I've talked to. And it just so happens that they can actually be heroes, you know, and I think that that's something special, something very, very special. And I think that people feel, I don't know, I think people feel a lot more responsible when they're on a network that has the word hero behind it. You know, I think that they take the information that they have to give our audience a lot more seriously. You know, so I've seen a shift in how many people that I've talked to since we've joined. And I think that we're talking to more entrepreneurs. We're talking to a lot more life coaches and things of that nature. So we're truly talking to a lot of experts these days.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm happy about that.
Yeah. And so you've, you know, as the booking manager, executive producer, you've created some very interesting questions. We're not going to share those questions because
no, we're not.
You have to be a potential guest to go on Julie's ride, okay? Because you got to, that's an expensive ticket. Let me just tell you right now. But in creating these different questions to really kind of pull people out of their whatever they're expected to be, you've had some people get very emotional with you.
Yes. Very emotional. Very, very emotional, where I have had to just give people a moment to get themselves together. I think that one of the things that I appreciate about our podcast is the free reign that you give me to tap into who people really are. This is not just about what they do, but who are they? Because people can tell you all day long what it is they do. Okay. And you still walk away saying, who was that?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who is that person? What do they really believe outside of what it is that they're promoting? And I think that when I have the conversation with a lot of people, it doesn't feel so much like an interview as it does a conversation. And it's like a conversation with an old friend. So yes, they get very emotional. They start crying. And when it first started, I was like, oh man, maybe I need to change these questions because people are really, you know, they're crying all over the place. But I found in the end that it was a great segue into just what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're trying to, you know, again, help people remove the labels from their lives. And that's an emotional thing. You have to definitely be tapped into your emotions because it's not always about concept. You know, do this and this will work. Do that and that will work. But a lot of times in order to help people, you have to tap into them.
Cheers to the new year's and to making resolutions you actually keep. Have you added self-care to your routine? I know I have very much into self-care. My man is, yes, he is definitely keeping it tight. Our sponsors at Manscaped have the perfect tools to help keep you and your significant other clean and tidy this year. Manscaped tools for his jewels are so good, you'll want them for yourself. The Lawnmower 4.0 is all you'll need for his balls and your bikini line. You know what's up, ladies. Set your first New Year's resolution with good intentions and join the 4 million people worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code labelfree20 for 20% off plus free shipping. Happy New Year's, you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate all your support. Go over to manscaped.com, use the code labelfree20 for 20% off and free shipping. No, I love it. I think that that is kind of part of the experience for any guest that is wanting to, you know, just reach a broader audience, be on our show. And I think that really kind of sets the tone of what they're going to experience when they get on the start recording with me.
Sure. And it's just like you said about earlier when you were talking about how we were number 44 in society and culture in Singapore. Yeah. Well, that speaks volumes, because a lot of the Asian community that I've spoken with, they have different ideas about how we handle things in America. You know, some of them think that we are a little bit too passive.
Really?
And we don't take the responsibility that we should. So for the Asian community in Singapore to have us at number 44, that speaks volumes. It really does. To be in the top 50.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I think we're doing something right. Yeah. And that's, you know, I was like, wow, when we got that notification. I mean, we've just grown leaps and bounds. You know, we've hit about 100,000 downloads this year, and it's just been an amazing ride. I mean, Julie works hard, I work very hard, and I want to give a big shout out to our multimedia manager and producer, Warren Brewer, who's behind the scenes. You know, we're a family here, and we really believe in what we're doing and touching lives and making an impact, a positive impact in the world. So we've actually had several sponsors, and our main sponsor, Manscaped, which is, you know, a little bit different, but our majority of our audience is men. Manscaped has renewed with us 4 times, so that is a pretty big name to have renewed with us again, because they great ROI. On being on our show. But no, it's a very fun product, very fun brand to represent, and they've been very supportive of us. And I'm very thankful for them to put their name on our show and just be a part of our trajectory as we grow. So, Julie, what do you think we're going to do in 2022? What do you think that we're going to? And you know, I just realized the wrap up that I typed up for us is 2020. Did you see that?
I did. I did.
So I think that's what I said when we started recording. Oh, well, whatever.
You probably did, but that's okay. It's the beginning of the year, and we all forgive you.
Yeah. Oh, right. Well, thank you very much. So what would you like to see happen in this new year with the podcast, and what kind of guests would you like us to talk to and bring on the show?
Ooh, you know, I'd love to see more life stories, not just people who coach people, but I would love to see more life stories. I'd love to see people come on who just want to tell the story, how they've managed to get past certain things that have happened in their lives. You know, a lot of times right now we tie it into, okay, you know, I was an abused child, you know, but now I have this wonderful business, I have this husband and different things like that. But I'd like to see more of a mix of not just professionals, but just, you know, some people whom have, you know, can come on and tell their story. And it's not because they're experts, it's because they've had the experience. So kind of mix some of that in there. I'd love to, of course, bigger audience. Bigger audience is something that we love, because when I feel, or when I see that we're reaching people, when I see that our downloads have increased, when I see that our subscribers have increased, then that tells me that what we're doing is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I like that feeling when I know that I'm doing the right thing. Yeah. So I don't think that any audience is too big to reach, especially with what we're giving them and the type of guests that we're having. Now, one of the things you failed to mention was the fact that we also started the Facebook page for the Premier Pass.
Oh, yes. Yes. We've got it's exclusive to people that have purchased the Premier Pass and that is a part of that community that we will be growing and cultivating and making it very successful for those that have become a part of that. So we're not going to share all our secrets, but if you are someone that is looking to be a potential guest, and all those links will be in the show, in this show's notes, on how you can book a call with Julie, just our links to the website, our links to our social media, so that you can go check us out, see what we're up to, and how we honor our guests and support the community that we have created.
Right. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else to add. So unless you'd like to add anything else, Queen, I think we're just going to wrap things up. And I'm just going to...
You're going to put your crown.
Okay. Well, I was wanting like the, the thing.
Here's mine. Okay.
Ooh, I like it. Ooh, yeah, I like it. So we're like both like...
You wear yours and I wear mine.
Well, I wanted like the New Year's Eve crown. You know what I mean? I like yours though. That's cool. That's very
It's
cool.
a necklace, actually.
But it looks good with what you're wearing, though. That's freaking badass, though. I like it.
Oh, well, thank you.
I wanted like the whistle blower, the thing that blows out. I was like, okay, I have a crown and the.
And I thought about that, but then I said, you know what? Let's keep it as professional as possible. Maybe a couple quips here and there.
Yeah.
But with the different streamers and stuff like that.
Streamers. There you go. So what would you like to leave with the audience before we say goodbye?
Well, I don't want to say goodbye. This is saying hello to 2022. And this is saying hello to better memories,
better
meeting
stories.
More people. What'd you say?
Better stories.
Better stories. Bigger guests. I'd love to be able to tap into a different level of guest as well.
Yeah.
I'd love for it to be a mix of media, if you know what I'm saying. Different levels. You could have a coach and, you could have someone that's I'd like more human stories, more stories about what people are doing in communities and, neighborhoods and different things like that, and how they're changing the scope of schools. We don't talk to a lot of people who are teachers in schools. I'd love to talk to some teachers and see how they're handling this pandemic. We didn't do that.
No, we didn't.
But I'm saying just different things that are going on and how different people tackle them and how they're able to overcome different things. So 2022 is 365 more days for 365 chances, 365 opportunities, 365 days to just live. And I would just love to see the Label Free Podcast breathe and grow and live.
I love it. And we're going to continue to do that with your help and your expertise, talking to our potential guests, potential dynamic guests. This has been awesome, Queen. I love the wrap up. We might have to do like a quarterly wrap up and just talk about like the guests that we've had on that are not yet released, so that people have something to look forward to, and maybe do another couple lives on Instagram here in the very short future. But you guys, Happy New Year. May this year May this year bring you lots of success, love, abundance, peace, joy, internal happiness that only you can control. And may our show inspire you to possibly go after your dream, break through boundaries, rip those labels off, become the most authentic you that you can possibly become, because that is where your true happiness and growth happens. We are here to serve you, serve our audience, and bring you incredible, dynamic people that are sharing their stories, their gifts, and the amazing things that they're doing around the world. And we thank you for joining us on this journey, and we invite you to continue to join us on this journey as we blow positivity around the world in 2022.
Remember, we're not as divided as we are disconnected. So reach out.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So you guys, this is your host, Deanna Kuempel, Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, follow, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.